it seemed like yesterday was a little bit more of a special teams focus, and then working on some different things. What today, maybe kind of the focus as you lead into another game here tomorrow?
There's a little bit more defensive zone coverage for us today. I mean, sometimes it's harder to really zero in on what you want to do when you don't have when you're still working with three groups for sure, but even the two at times. But we've sort of changed the mix of the groups over the last couple of days, so we felt it was time for us to start working a little bit more on our D-zone coverage and at the same time trying to find a little speed in our game.
Well, and also a little bite in there too, right? Maybe reaching that point of camp where guys are getting competitive and obviously kind of reaching that next phase of camp.
Well, to be quite honest with you, there's a certain part of camp where the last few games are quite a bit different. The first few games, I think, is a lot of getting your feet wet and some younger players getting opportunities to play. Now it's about returning players having to amp it up a little bit because they have to be ready for October 8th. And if they're not taking the games the right way or our practices the right way, there's no chance they're going to be ready. So I think that's probably why you're starting to see the intensity creep up a little bit more.
It's safe to say that almost has to come from them. Like you guys can say it, but it's got to be them.
Totally. They drive the bus in a lot of ways. Like we deliver a message. They're a huge part of our message, and I think because they believe in it, they bring it into the room. And then it's about them making sure they push each other on the ice to be better and put themselves in a situation where tomorrow they can work to take another step. And I think when you talk about our leadership group, they've been really consistent with that.
Does that shift start with the next game, like into the back half of the preseason? Is that when we start to see kind of that ramping up in the preseason?
Well, for me, yes. I think you get to this point where the people that are in games or should be playing games are the ones that are really competing for a spot. Like early on, you want to give some of your younger draft kids or draft picks or prospects an opportunity to see what it's like at the next level. But now it shifts a little bit where when we go into Winnipeg not knowing their lineup, we're going to get 2 or 3 of their best lines. So it changes pretty significantly, and we want to see players that whether or not they can handle competition like that. That's a big part of what these next 4 games are like.
And do you, like as a coach, whether it's like Karen's or a Morton or whoever it might be, do you actively try to put them in difficult spots, especially in road games, to evaluate?
Yeah, well, we can't control on the road, right? So, at times I think there's no secret that you look to hide guys at different times because you can do that to try to get favorable matchups for your team on the road, especially exhibition season. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to evaluate these guys against really good players. And you find out in a hurry if someone's ready or maybe they just need a touch more time. So that's why I like these last couple road games for sure. And then we have to make sure that when we play the last 2 games, we're getting close to where we need to be.
When we've talked to Jan Kuznetsov in the past, he's really prided himself on trying to be a player that's hard to play against. When you look at his kind of body of work and maybe going back to Tuesday against Seattle, is that something that kind of your group has kind of noticed that he's kind of taking some pride in?
Well, I think every year he's raised his level. I do think that. And I mentioned it before, and you can put Solo in that same category, that this is a big one for them because they want to try to separate themselves and they want to try to push someone out of the job. Kuzi's progressed along the way, and the last game that we played against Seattle, I thought he was very good for us. So it's a matter of finding consistency and being a hard player, someone that's difficult to play against and use his size to his advantage. I look at Kevin Ball. He's not the most physical guy, but he's miserable to play against because he's in your face all the time and he's got a great stick. So there's different ways to be hard to play against. Kuzi's got to find that, and he's got to find it consistently.
Are you more open to the idea, or has it progressed where you might use more right-handed shots on right-handed draws for power play, or like seeing Coronado shift over there maybe, or as you come back?
We're getting there. Matt's going to take draws. Once we get, again, closer to the numbers and stuff, Matt's going to take a lot of face-offs at the end of practice, and we're going to throw Adam Klapka in there as well. Another guy that, when you don't have a roster that's got a lot of right-handed guys, we have to try to take advantage of the ones we do, and I think they're both capable of it. Matt used to take a lot of draws in college, tons of them, and he was good. So I think with more practice and getting the feel of it again, he'll be a good option for us on that side. And Adam's a monster. So you know, if he gets over the circle and he gets strong on his stick, not too many guys are going to be able to move his stick around. So he's another guy that we feel might give us an option on that side.
How cautious are you with guys like no Huberdeau again today? Are you extra cautious this time of year that it's just give them whatever time they need? Like there's no, like you see the Barkov news today, and now he might be out for the year. Like,
yeah, I didn't hear that, but that's a tough one if that's the case. I think it's the time of year where, you know, if a player isn't feeling 100%, there's no point in them. There's no point in them at this time of saying, I'm good to play. Like, we have no issues, and we're fortunate about that right now. So it's just making sure that we're smart about how we're doing things. Yeah.
Tomorrow will be an opportunity for Cooley to kind of respond. Prospect Top had a really good game on Wednesday. An opportunity for Cooley tomorrow.
Totally. He's going to play the full game. Similar situation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.